What is truly harder than it looks? Removed. I thought fighting would be relatively easy for me in terms of how tired I'd get since I'm a distance runner, wrong as fluff. 5 minutes of going against a punching bag and I was absolutely exhausted, and it's just a bag, not even a person. That first ollie on my skateboard took forever to get down. Yoga. I tried a 20-minute beginner's yoga program yesterday. That stuff is not for scrubs. Acting. It's real apparent anytime I see a non-actor in a cameo role. They're cringe why bad side by side with the professionals, even when playing themselves. Walking naturally when being asked to do so. The surface of the pool when you jump of the diving board belly first. Using scissors as a left-hander. Keeping a clean and tidy house takes so much more time and effort than I ever realized. Drawing round circles by hand edit. I will not move the paper, because what if you want to draw a circle on your desk? Drumming. Answering posts on Reddit. I'm always extremely scared of how people are going to respond to me. Will they think I'm an idiot and reply in a really snarky way? Being creative. I don't mean making good art or having talent, I mean just getting on and making something. It's so easy to get stopped by a wall of self-doubt and the false notion that it's just too hard to create. It's so easy to be too self-conscious to start or give up partway through because you think you and your creation are just not good enough. Running a long way. When you're not a runner you see people and you think that lazy guy is just jogging, I could be much faster than that if I did a bit of training. Then you try it yourself and realize that for any kind of middle or long distance you're going to need to pace yourself and conserve your energy. Non-Newtonian fluid. Speaking up, introverted individuals know exactly what I'm talking about. Sometimes you back to a moment where you should have spoke up or said something, but in the actual moment you start doubting yourself or just have that fear of voicing yourself. Swimming, it looks easy and slow to people who don't do it, but as you age up it just gets harder. For runners, a 5-minute mile is the equivalent to a 16-minute mile in swimming. Morning classes in college. Explaining to your mom why there is a taco on the floor at 4:52 a.m. I hear quite a few older people downplay video editors and say it's not a skill. Look, anyone can edit, yeah, but it takes skill to know the processes, techniques, and other essential artistic skills that go into professional editing or motion graphics. I'd say playing an instrument, particularly piano. You don't realize the time and practice it takes to play even a moderately difficult song well. It takes years before you can start playing songs that are nice to listen to, which is why most adults give up learning to play after a few months when they can only play little kid songs using both hands. I didn't mean to make any other instruments sound easy to learn. I just know people have a tough time trying to play instruments that require so many actions at once. When you get to the point that you're playing 3+ notes and multiple rhythms at the same time, it's a pretty hard wall to climb. Teaching, especially teaching young kids. Golf. You wouldn't think it'd be that hard if you've never played, but oftentimes a day of golf is like a journey into the darkest part of your soul. I think photography is harder than it looks. To most people, it's just taking a picture, but once it's an actual hobby or profession, you really have to start thinking about composition, lighting, settings, lenses, specific bodies for specific purposes, working with your model, time of day, editing, setting, your timing, etc. Once all that becomes natural, it's very rewarding, but it's often harder than it looks. Pretending to take a bath while fapping. Talking to girls. I am very gay and very scared. Guys, I am a woman. I am a lesbian, sorry for the confusion LMFAO. I'd say growing up. I'm about to graduate college and I'm living with my girlfriend. Commitment is scary as hell and the idea of having to find work that can pay off my debt is fluffing terrifying. I still feel like a 16-year-old. Overcoming addiction. Making everyday boring things. Making a good set of plates is at least 4 years of apprenticeship, at 10 to 40 hours a week. Glassblowing to make that thin, even, perfect Coke bottle? Half a decade. Patterning, cutting, sewing your clothes? 10 or more years just to learn about cut and fit from scratch, much less stuff like putting in an invisible zipper. We stand on the backs of generations of giants. My job, barbering. A couple times a month I get someone who tried to cut their own hair, because they think it's easy, and now I have to salvage what's left into something decent. Or, people sit down, try to tell me what they want, and just kind of ramble for a while before I interject and ask specific questions, that gets me the answers I need. Hint, I want it shorter but not too short, is not helpful at all. I don't know what too short is for you. I do skin fades every day, so nothing is too short for me. Be specific. Do you want to see skin through your hair? Do you want stubble? Bring a photo. Also, a lot of people can't hold still. I have a razor to the back of your neck, or your face, please try to hold still. Every couple of months I get asked if I have another job or if this is a hobby of mine or something like that. No, the actual act of cutting hair is easy at this point, but I've been in the industry for 9 years, plus 2 years of school. It's dealing with clients that is not easy. Disclaimer, I do love my job and wouldn't do anything else, just wish people were better at understanding what my job entails. Living with busted teeth, executive dysfunction in my teens and 20s, combined with a lack of dental insurance and a crippling fear of medical professionals, has caused me to have a bunch of dental problems in my early 30s that, even though I have dental insurance now, I can't really afford to address properly. Broken teeth, cavities, bad gums, etc. I am in constant pain. It gets worse and better constantly, but it never goes away. I can't smile at people without seriously freaking them out. People assume that you're a druggie. One of my broken teeth is in the front, and treat you like crap, often without even thinking about it. Chewing is interesting. While I can still chew most things, taking bites out of something larger, like a sandwich, is nerve-wracking because you never know when something's gonna give. Also, when the pain flares up, it becomes a chore to eat at all. On top of that, there's the psychological aspect of it. I'm constantly wondering if people are staring at my teeth when I talk, and I've even modified the way I talk to try to hide them. It doesn't work, they all stare, and it makes me sound funny. I can't laugh or smile without finding a way to cover my mouth. I often lose sleep over the pain, as many times tooth pain seems to get worse at night for no good reason. I basically hate myself for letting it get this bad, but I still feel like there's nothing I can do to help it right now because while I make an okay amount, rent is outrageous in my state and bills tend to eat most of the rest of it. If I had the cash, I'd go have a dentist knock me out, hit my face with a wrecking ball, and replace everything they need to, but at the same time I'm still terrified of doctors and dentists and that doesn't help things at all. So, yeah, having fluffed up teeth is hard. Sleeping. Insama's a female doggy. Painting. Teaching a Komodo dragon to fetch a stick. These creatures have very small brains paired with an extremely pronounced death drive. The one I got assigned couldn't really distinguish between the stick and my body at all and would lunge forward even before I'd thrown it. Nasty teeth as well, coated with liquefied carrion and a host of other toxic substances. Saphira can fetch a stick now, alright, but I'll never hold a fork again. Rock climbing. Skiing. I once didn't know how to ski, so I went straight down the mountain without turning at all. At the bottom, I ran into someone and took off the skis they were standing on. Stand-up comedy, they make it look so nonchalant and easy while being hilarious and controlling a large public crowd like it's no big deal at their will, when actually being funny and being such a good public speaker for an hour on stage like that is insanely difficult to do. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, grappling looks like two people are just kinda chillin' there, pullin' and pushin' and grabbin' each other on the ground, when in actuality it's the most complex human body chess match of almost broken bones, joints, and tracheas. High-level gymnastics. Though it obviously doesn't look easy to do, high-level gymnasts make the craziest garbage the human body can do seem so effortless, so easy, like they can do those skills in their sleep. Insane strength and body control just seemingly effortlessly. All it takes is a lifetime of commitment with an insane number of hours training for that routine. Lol. Competitive CS, Go, or other professional esport players. For the layman watching a game of CS at a major tournament for $1 million on the line or something, it still just looks like people playing a game, same as a low-rank player would look like playing. Someone unfamiliar with the game would see both matches as looking pretty similar. However, in reality, the Tier 1 centisecond Go teams on the highest level are so unbelievably better at the game than 99.9% of everyone else in the game's player pool, with the skill ceiling so high, that to someone familiar with the game, it would look very obviously different to spectate. The pro players have so much better aim, game sense, awareness, reaction time, coordination, grenade usage, crosshair placement, movement, economy usage, communication, coaching, strategies, execution, trading, etc. Life. Playing guitar, I'm not saying it looks easy, but a good guitarist makes it look effortless. As a beginner you quickly learn how fluffing difficult everything is. Okay, put your fingers here, nope, push harder, and get closer to the fret. Now strum, but not all the strings. Just the bottom 4. Now do it in a pattern, down, down, up, down, up. Now move your fingers quickly to a completely different position, and make sure they're all placed perfectly near the frets so your chord doesn't buzz. And do this without interrupting the flow of your strum. And change so you're now strumming all the strings. Lord forbid there's a bar chord in there where you have to push down all the strings with your index, and then have chord positions on the rest. Oh, and that stupid fluffing finger opposite your thumb? Yeah, you pinky, back to school motherfluffer. You're gonna need to smarten up and figure out how to move independently from the rest of the boys. There's 6 strings and only 4 fingers. Oh, and sing too please.